Boom, boom, boom. What is up, my fellow Aussies from the land down under? I got my pockets absolutely ran through by FIDE Master John Curtis. I played this game, I think it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, because I couldn't sleep. And so I queued up a few games, and I played against John Curtis, FIDE Master John Curtis, also known as the Magician. He absolutely ran my pockets, and so I'll be reviewing this game to the best of my ability. I'm not good at explanations, but I'll try to analyze this as if I was, playing the game. So, for starters, e4, e5, king's pawn, and, in this position, right, I would have played, if I actually was paying attention and saw who I was playing against, I would have played, I would have played the Pharaoh's opening against him, and then probably would have played, right, like the horsey exchange variation, But that didn't happen because I wasn't paying attention. So, knight c3, knight c6, bishop c4, bishop c5, and we have the Vienna Max Lang defense. I proceed to play knight a4. Now, the reason why I played knight a4 was to attack the bishop, to eventually play knight f3, and to get out of the book. If you look at my stats, right, my average book move is like 1.2, whereas everyone else's is like 3.4. So what that means is, on average, I play about one book move every game. What's a book move? This is a book move. I play one of these. On average, I play a book move. So, this was my idea, right? If I get him out of the book, because all these FIDE masters, they know the opening like the back of their hand. If I can get them out of the book openings, I have the advantage, right? But I did spend, right, because the better move is queen g4 attacking this pawn. I'm pretty sure you could also argue like pawn to d3. Yeah, pawn to d3 also works because of a pawn chain. So, brilliant move. Brilliant move. This is probably the hardest. I'm gonna be honest with you, that is probably the hardest, like, move to find. I calculated this move, by the way. I calculated this. And in my head, I was like, there's no way he'll play it. And he played it. It's such a brilliant move. Stockfish considered this a... Which one is it? I can't find the keybind for it. Anyway, Stockfish considered this a star move, right? The best move you could play. This is a brilliant move. This is such a hard move to find. Because I can't really play queen g4 anymore. I don't have this option. Because of this. Because if takes, he pins. I don't have that option anymore. That's such a brilliant move on his part. So, I play f3. Now, I believe what the engine wanted me to do was actually bring my knight back. So here, here, here. Because the engine wants me to not waste tempo, because as John Curtis said, a horsey on the side of the board is grim. Those were his exact words. He said something along the horsey being on the side of the board is a grim knight. I agree. So I play knight f3, knight f6, right? Simple development, and then I bring my knight back to knight c3. Now the engine wanted me to again create this pawn chain, right? The big white chain. That's what Stockfish wanted me to make, the big white chain, the BWC. Instead, I bring my knight back. You know, you should really take the advice of chess YouTubers whenever they tell you that moving the knight like 3 times in a row is like taboo. It's true. So I play knight c3, which basically just allowed him to get free development while I'm over here, dick in my hand, swinging it around on a cold wintry day. There's nothing there. I have fucking nothing. I'm grabbing air. I literally have to use like those fucking, you know those videos where they're like dissecting grapes and shit and they have that like little like arm? That's basically what I have to use. I have to fucking whip out a hyper-sensitive microscope, and I have to look under it, and I have to fucking manually control that fucking robotic arm like I'm a fucking, like, drone racer. You know what I mean? Oh, brilliant! Brilliant move! Brilliant! I was dumbfounded by this move because I was like, what? A knight for a pawn? And then I realized that black here is exploiting my lack of the BWC, the big white chain. He exploited the BWC. And he gains control of the center. Just from this move alone, he gains control of the center because of pawn d5! Pawn d5! Forking my pieces! Oh my god! Oh, shit! I swear to God, everything in Australia has neurotoxin. I didn't know the fucking Aussies also had neurotoxin. This is fucking brutal. I'm getting fucking bent over by a 74-year-old grandpa, and he's just fucking teaching me the lessons of the Vietnam War and the fucking Korean War. I swear to God. I actually don't know if the Aussies fought in the Korean and Vietnam War. I think they were completely neutral. But you get the idea. You get the idea. He's fucking belt to ass this whole entire game. Alright. I play bishop. I play bishop b5. And the best move is bishop d3. Because if takes, and I'm looking down this knight. I'm looking down the knight, the rook, and this weakens his development because he can't really move this. Like, he has to, like, if he does this, I have free castles. So if knight here, I kick it out. And that's a free pawn there. And I'm in this position where this rook file is open. Sure, I have double pawns, but it's the equivalent of, like, God, what would be a good example of this? It's like, let's say the bishop was here and I pushed the pawn, right? If takes, this is fine. It's the same idea of like, you have a doubled up pawn, you have a double up pawn chain, but your rook is active, if that makes sense. Like, this is the same idea. And I can work with this because of here, I have this. And then I would just convert the position onto this side of the board. So I would lock up this position over here, and I would just move all my pieces to the queen side. That would be the idea that I would play. So I play bishop b5, takes, queen d5 is such a disgusting move. And I find the idea of knight takes c6, right? Knight takes c6 is a really nice move. And in this position, I was calculating... Goodness me, what was I calculating in this position? I think I was calculating pawn takes and then bishop back. I think that's what I was calculating, but like I could be wrong. Hold on, give me a second. I actually do want to like figure out what the fuck I would have played. Because this is what Stockfish suggests, and Stockfish is like, the supreme overlord of fucking Narnia. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of curious on what I think I would have played. I'm like going back in time, like thinking. Honestly, I think this is just it. And then I calculated like pawn to h5. And I was calculating like an en passant, basically, and then queen takes. And we're in this position. I think this is what I was calculating, was like something along the lines of this. But again, he takes, I take, takes with the king, so no more castling for him. I never castle. I want this to be known. I never once ever castle. And so the best move for him is en passant. Now, again, it goes back to this idea of we trade off the queens, and then he plays rook... excuse me, rook d8. And that's a really nice move. It's a really nice move, rook d8. Now, he didn't calculate that. He played rook to e8. I play queen e2. And he takes. So he wanted to do the same thing that I did to him, which is remove his castling rights. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Right? So he plays bishop e6. Not a bad move. Not a bad move. I was calculating this. Something along the lines of this, where my pawn structure on my king side is completely scattered. And his is all like normal. But it's even though. It's even. It's even Steven. For some odd reason, I'm worse in this position. But I digress, right? I digress. Right, takes. And so we get into this position, and it's completely a draw. It's 100% a draw. I was calculating rook c8 in this position. I don't know. I was calculating like rook c8, and then he would eventually push his pawns. He does not. So he pushes a pawn, he pushes another pawn, right? Simple, classic development. I calculated pawn f5, not pawn f6. So takes. Now the computer says this is a interesting move. Even though I grabbed a pawn, it activates black's pieces. And John Curtis over here immediately, off the bat, understands that. He immediately understands that. So I bring my bishop back. He gives a check. I run my king around. He picks up a free pawn because I allowed him to develop. Slides his king over. And here I should have played rook e3. I should have played rook e3. Because if takes, I'm actually worse. Stockfish says I'm worse. Which is really interesting. That Stockfish says I'm worse. Which honestly might be right. This is what I calculated in my head, and honestly, Stockfish is right. But like, it's that type of thing where it's like, you don't know. Like, you don't know. So anyways, I take. He takes. And bringing the rook over was the best move. And in this position, I think this is where everything started to go downhill. He brings his, because a bishop here, this bishop is useless. His bishop is way stronger. Because he has multiple ways to get out. This bishop only has, I have to waste a move to go here, and I don't really have that many options, because this pawn is in the way, right? We have an attack on this side. We have an attack on this side. This black square bishop is useless because I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 pawns on the black square. He gives me a check. I move my king over. Then he pushes his king. I was calculating bishop h3. I calculate bishop h3 because of bishop b4. And so he would bring his bishop up and around. And then we would get into like a closed position over here. Right? This is what I was calculating. Was like we would get into this closed position and eventually just play for a draw. But he shuts that down. He shuts that down by pushing his king. And I feel like I could have punished that, and I didn't. So I push my pawn. He takes. He brings his bishop out. Right? And he does this brilliant idea of bringing his bishop down. He's basically luring my king from being an active piece in the center, right? From being an active piece in the center to bringing him down to hunt his bishop. What a genius. And I calculated that he would bring his bishop out of there. And he doesn't. He plays b5. He plays b5 because he's an absolute animal. b5. And then he plays a5. He plays a5. Oh my god. He created an a. Look at this, look at this, look at this. He created a fucking outside pass pawn. This is a textbook endgame fucking play. It forces my king to go this way to deal with the pawn. This guy's a fucking genius. I'm forced to respond to this. I have to leave my bishop over here because let's say he fakes me out. Like, I'm gonna play some bishop moves on this side. Psych! Bam, bam, bam! I have to leave my bishop over here. I have to leave my bishop over here. What the fuck? God fucking damn it! So I push my pawn, he pushes his king, I push my king, he pushes his king, I move my bishop out the way. He pushes the pawn, I push my king. Bishop b3! Because after this, king takes, bishop takes a2, and the black wins the a pawn. And the sudden queenside pawn becomes dangerous. This pawn becomes dangerous. God, oh my goodness. He's a genius. He's a genius. And it's still a draw. It's still a draw with black being up by like fucking 0.01. 0.01. Bang! King b5. Bishop h3. c4. f4. And I'm a fucking piece of shit loser. I should fucking kill myself. Oh my god. I was focused. He put me in Zugzwang with this one. f4, brilliant. I didn't fucking calculate f4. I didn't know he could fucking play f4 because what I was calculating was something like he would fucking, I don't know. I don't know. I was calculating something else. I was calculating like c2, like bishop c2 or king f3, or like maybe he would somehow, some way like push this pawn. He plays f4! f4! Oh my god, and it threw me off. It threw me off. I didn't calculate this. I didn't calculate this because they're locked. So I thought he could just push this pawn. Oh my god, that's what. I didn't calculate this. Oh my god, and it's literally a draw. Oh my god, it's literally a draw. And I didn't calculate the brilliant move of f4. Because f4, f3, the a pawn advances, and the king supports this f4 pawn. My pawns look scary, but his are faster. f3, like I said, f4, f3, the king supports. And the A pawn eventually advances. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Bishop c5. I'm trying to save the position. A3. Because if I take, he pushes. And I can't stop it. So best thing I can do is he promotes and I take. And he wins my fucking bishop. He doesn't even have to win it. He can just look this down. And he'll eventually win. So I'm trying to salvage. King E8! King E8! Everyone panics about the passing pawn. I thought he would as well. King E8, and he simply just attacks the pawn. C5, A2, D7, king takes, C6, king C8, and it's fucking over. It's lost. I lost. Because I fucking made a mistake. I didn't calculate the brilliant move of F4, and I lost it all. Oh my god. Oh my god, just like all the fucking animals in Australia. Apparently the fucking Aussies have neurotoxin. When it mattered, I fucking froze up. I just went, oh. Oh my god. You fucking beat me. Fuck. Well, that'll do it. My score so far against titled players is 0 wins, 0 draws, 1 loss, and it's to FIDE Master John Curtis. Round of applause for him. He's like 74 years old. Belt to ass beat the shit out of me before I even knew what was happening. He played this game with a 96.7% accuracy. And belt to ass handed it to me. And I played with an accuracy of, drumroll please, 89.4. Belt to ass beat the shit out of me. This guy's an absolute mad lad. Twenty excellent moves, might I add. 20 excellent moves to 18. 1 brilliant, 3 greats, 3 books, 20 best, 11 goods, or 11 greats, 5 good, 1 inaccuracy, 1 mistake. When it mattered the most, I fucking crumbled. Alright, that'll do it for me. Fuck it, next time I come across another titled player, it is going to be straight belt to ass for them. If I get white, I'm playing the Polish. I'm playing the bird. I'm gonna play the bird. I'll be like Mighty Eagle, belt to fucking ass. Swear to God, my 6 packs will have 6 packs, and those 6 packs will have 6 packs. Get the fuck out of here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!